Hey there, fellow adult collectors. Welcome back. David Eon here with a little bit of a discussion about our slat wall systems. This came up in our last live stream. We talked about it briefly, and we've brought it up before, but I wanted to elaborate today in a video talking about our modular slat wall systems that we use for display purposes in our museum room, as opposed to a lot of the traditional methods that are often used that are either expensive or cumbersome. And just to alliterate a little bit, for example, you see here in the closet where we have a bookshelf set up, a lot of people end up using bookshelves like this, but unfortunately with bookshelves, they put a lot of limitations. They're an inexpensive option, but they're deep. You put stuff in there, it's hard to keep it dusted. You can't see everything because the shelves, there's only so much you can modify the position of the shelves, and then it's just working against you. Plus, because they're deep, they take up a lot of space. And as you can see, we're pretty opened up because everything is flush right to the walls. And it gives us a lot of space options inside the room. Also, some people do use, for example, these DVD/CD shelves, and that's not a bad option. It's more flush to the wall, but usually they're only so big. You know, that's a relatively large one by comparison that we've got all these Hardy Boys and Nancy Drew books in. They do make really big ones that can be as high as 6 feet tall. Then, you know, that's more customized and it's going to get expensive. So this isn't always an option for everyone. Also, you are limited by how deep you can make those shelves. It's not, this works really well for Funko Pops, by the way, but otherwise it can cause problems. And before I get to the slat walls, one more that we use is the pegboards, the traditional pegboards that can take hooks and can take stems. Just to give you an example here, this is a stem, and you insert it in the holes like that, and then you can hang things on it. And this is a longer one, obviously. But then they have the short ones like these little hooks that insert the same way for individual use. Plug it in and push it down, and then you can hang your action figure card on it. And these are good for if you want to hang something, like what my wife did here with her Masters of the Universe. And it keeps everything nice and flush to the wall and nice and uniform, but it also has its limitations. Now, where we've had the most luck is with the slat wall system, which is modular because there aren't as many limitations with it, as well as space saving because it's flush to the wall, and relatively inexpensive. A lot of these, especially these center display units, came from stores that were going out of business, like these, and this one I'm going to demonstrate on. These came from Payless shoe stores when they were closing down, and we got them like super cheap. Even new, a lot of these don't cost much. The white slat walls are the cheapest, and they typically come in 8x4. That's 8 feet wide by 4 feet deep. And they are heavy. They are heavy. So if you decide to get something like this and you attach it to the wall, you have to make damn sure you put it into the studs. This is a hook system. It's like a cage display. And then you have these hooks that are shaped like this. And those work pretty well. And we got those from a clothing store that was going out of business, as well as these tables. These tables are sets. You have the one big yellow table, the medium-sized yellow table, and then this small white one came with it because they all slide under each other. $15 a set. It was so cheap. It's great finding stuff like that that's going out of business. Finding stores that are going out of business is unfortunate. They're closing down, but you can get displays cheap. And like I said, there are wholesalers that sell these slat walls and shelves and hooks and everything, and they're actually relatively inexpensive, and you don't have to be a store to buy from them. They don't care. But just to demonstrate with this modular here, this middle piece, you get the short hooks, and this is why it's so modular. Here's a longer hook that I borrowed from the other place, because these pegboard style hooks will also work with them. Here's a shelf. This is actually a shoe shelf. You would put a sneaker or a shoe on this. You've probably seen these in like Foot Locker or something. I don't want it there. I can move it here. This is a wider shelf that's not as deep. Oh, let's put it there now. A larger shelf. And most of the time these shelves are transparent, which is great because you can see right through it, obviously. Put that anywhere. This type has this little T on the end. There's actually a little plastic transparent piece that snaps on here that you can put a card inside of. So if you wanted to label something, you could put that on there. But like you can see, you can just move these anywhere you want. Make the shelf conform to you instead of you conforming to the shelf all the time, which is one of the main problems with using bookcases or any other kind of shelving units. Even Deltoffs don't offer you that. Plus they're glass. I don't like that. You also have this option. You see these big pegs, right? These oversized pegs are actually for holding shelves like this. And this shelf is obviously too big for the unit, but I'm just showing you for the purpose of demonstration, because this one's about 4 feet wide by about 13 inches deep. And you can put whatever you want on top of there, and you see we've used those on the bottom level. And also in the middle here with the G.I. Joe, I've got it set up like that. And these walls do come in different colors, including mirrored. They have mirrored ones, but the white was the cheapest. The white was the cheapest one. And they do have, besides the shelves that I've just shown you, like this one right here, you see it's got this bent edge, and that's great for if you're worried about something on the bottom row falling forward. And there's a split here, and you can actually put a piece of paper in there with, if you wanted to write something or demonstrate what it was, explain something, name something, you can put it inside of these. They have a variety of different types of shelves, including solid colors. We prefer the transparent ones because it just helps everything to blend, give it a floating look. But they also have different shapes and sizes that I'm not demonstrating here, including bins and angled shelves that have a lip on the bottom so that you can display something at an angle like that without fear of something falling off of the shelf. It's got a little lip on the end, and I've seen them as long as like a foot long. And that would be great, like let's say you wanted to display a row of slabs, if you had slabbed comic books, or if you wanted to lay your action figure down, have it displayed, say like that, at an upward angle so that you could look down on it instead of across. That's an option. And as I pointed out, you got to make sure that you put these right into the studs. I think I can show you in here somewhere, like behind here. You can see the screw there. I think, if you can get in, that little bit of a shadow, it's actually right there. It's screwed right into the stud, and you have to make sure to put these in the studs because, again, the slat walls are very heavy by comparison, so you do not want to rely on those hanging on your sheetrock. But I just wanted to, again, since it came up in our last live stream, talk about some of those options for anybody. And I don't work for a company that makes these or distributes these. It's just what we decided to use. Additionally, here's a rack. This is a magazine/comic rack, obviously. And you see the hooks here. This is designed to go into either a slat wall or a pegboard. It's got these two hooks, so you could hang this. I could put this right on the slat wall or right on the pegboard if I wanted to, and then fill the rack up with comic books, slabs, magazines, whatever. There's so many different options, which is why we like it, which is why we use it. You don't have to use it. I'm just making the suggestion because, again, a lot of people have asked, and it came up in the last live stream. This is just a system that we like to use. This is another display that used to belong to a store that belongs to us now. And this one has wheels on it, so you can roll it around. Some of them have wheels or like sled tracks. Like this one has those tracks underneath. Makes it kind of easy to push it around. Anyways, hope that answers some of your questions. If you have any other questions, you can go ahead and post it in the comments section down below. Please do give the video a thumbs up if you got something out of it. I sure hope that you did. Share it if you can, subscribe if you're new, all of that good stuff. And if that is it, then what more can I say but thanks for watching. And we will see you again soon.